you mean you've gone through all this?
It's maybe it's the actual fact that I lived it, but I had it in me, but I didn't see it up until like I started questioning myself, and then from there I started realizing, no.
You can't be angry at everyone forever, can you?
You know, you can't be angry at everyone because not everyone is like that. You know what I mean? Not everyone is like that. So you're gonna have to accept it and move on with it. Because if you let it annoy you, you're not going anywhere with your life. You know what I mean? You just stay. It's like a train. You know what I mean? If you don't catch the train, it's gonna keep going, man. It's not gonna stop for you. And then so.
Sounds like you've done a good job with it, though, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Is there anything in particular that you like or don't like about Australians generally?
I like Australia. I like the Australian people. I like the way they are. You know what I mean? But the thing that I don't like is some of them don't realise that we're all the same. We're all people. Even though I'm darker than you, or you're darker than me, you still have eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and ears. You know what I mean? We still are the same people.
People on Earth.
We bleed the same colour. Simple as that. And I wish there was acceptance and understanding in that way. But not all of us, not everyone thinks that way. But yet again, like I said to you, in the Middle East there's racism. And in the Middle East there's, you know, you got people that don't accept you. You know what I mean? So it's not just in Australia. It's also overseas.
How do you think we should help people realise this? Because not everyone thinks like you, not everyone's wise enough. How do you think you could educate the wider public who are quite ignorant? And
I just tell them, look at the person in front of you. What's different? That's what it is. And then, yeah, it's as simple as that. But people don't realise it. It's as simple as that. We're just different colours, different race, different. You know, I might have different ways in my life, but that's how I was raised overseas. You know, you're gonna have to accept that because I'm accepting the way you're living. You know what I mean? So, let's be reasonable here. Let's reason with each other.
Let's focus on our common ground rather than differences.
Yeah. Forget about what religion I'm from. Forget about what country I'm from. We're all the same. You know what I mean? We're all the same. So that's what I'd say to the people. Just look at the person in front of you and say, what's different besides from the colour? And if you cut me and I cut another person, we're gonna bleed the same blood. You know, the same colour. You know what I mean? So it's no different.
Beautiful response. Now, people generally here in Australia have the same way of thinking. Now, do you think that's the media that's caused people to think that way?
Definitely, it's the media, because that's the focal point these days. People, I'm bored. What are we gonna do? We're gonna watch TV. Then they start seeing terror, this, that, Muslim, that, Middle Eastern, and it's just targeting. And then if you see this on the news, if you keep watching it, of course you're gonna be thinking, oh, these people are bad. Stay away from these people. But little did they know, not everyone is like that. You know what I mean? Not everyone is like that. There's people out there that are Muslim and Middle Easterns that disagree with what these people do. You know what I mean? Don't judge the whole race on one person and what he did, because I'm sure there's one Australian that's done a bad thing, or one Asian that's done a bad thing, or one, you know what it is. But do we take it as in like these people are the bad people? That's it. Like judge the whole country on one person's action? No, that's not right. We can't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, do you think how do you think people should act? Do you think they should approach each other more often? Smile in someone else's face for a change and that kind of thing? You
know, you get people that smile here. You know, apparently in America, if you smile at someone, they look at you like you're a weirdo. Did you know? Yeah, it's actually true. I've heard it from an actual American dude. That was giving a speech. But yeah, people smile at each other, you know what I mean? It's good, yeah. But learning to deal with each other, that's the main thing. Learning to sit down with each other. And get to know each other, get to know where you're from, dude. You know, like what country you're from. Get to know what background what background this guy came from, you know what I mean? Or whatever. Just have an understanding so you know when you speak to someone else and you want to correct him, you can understand
where they're coming from.
You can have you can have knowledge. It provides you knowledge, which is good. You know, it provides you all this information. It is knowledge. You know what I mean? Take it as knowledge. Don't take it as like, you know, no, I don't want to hear it from you. Yeah, it's knowledgeable stuff.
It's information.
Yeah, it's information.
Beautiful, because Australia is an immigrant country.
Yeah.
And we're all migrants.
It's a multicultural country.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's surprising that there's some people out there that are still holding on to that same mentality, like, you know, this dude, you know, this guy's black, this guy is Arab, you know. Dude, we're way past that now, you know. There's heaps of Middle Easterns, heaps of Asians, heaps of and, you know, you're eating their food too, man. Accept it. That's it. We're living together now. We're living together, and we should stay together. You know what I mean? And that's how it should be. But not everybody thinks that way.
Do you think Australia could be, you know, through this cultural diversity, we've definitely got a potential to be more diverse and richer for it?
Australia's the most beautiful country in the world right now, but I don't think Australians realise it. You know, we've got a lot of things in Australia that we don't realise that we have. You know, it's the best country in the world, and we could do so much. We could do so much, but the government.
Speaking of government, do you know much about immigration law?
A bit, yeah.
Do you think that the Australian government's being too harsh on refugees, asylum seekers?
They're not opening their minds. They're not opening their minds. Why are these people leaving their country for? You're going to have to ask those questions. People are fleeing their country for a reason, not because they just want to come and corrupt Australia. Don't have those thoughts. You know what I mean? There's people that are coming from a country that there was wars, there's killings, there's like disgusting stuff that we don't see in Australia, but they exist overseas. That's the reason why people are actually fleeing, to start a new page, like me, like my family. You know, that's the reason why we came to this country, and that's why most of the reason why these other people that are fleeing other countries, they're coming to Australia. We should actually, Australians should feel grateful for that, because they're coming to Australia, you know, for a safer place. They're not coming to Australia to corrupt it. They're coming for a safer place. They're running away from their own country because there's wars, and they're coming to Australia for a safer place, for a new page, a fresh page to start with their children.
Yeah.
You know, that's the reason why.
Yeah. And why are they going to wreck that?
Yeah,
Well, they don't want to come and make trouble, so they can ruin the only place they've got to go.
But the thing is, you know, like, different cultures, different ways of living, still, you're going to have to accept that. We have to accept that, still. But these people are coming, like, Australia should actually, like I said, should feel privileged that they come into Australia. They're fleeing the country to come to Australia for a reason, not to come and destroy the country. You know?
I totally agree.
You know, that's. I think they should open their eyes, open their minds a bit more, and realise this is the reason why these people are coming. You know,
Exactly.
the same reason that I came here for.
Exactly. Do you have any idea, or can you think of reasons why maybe the Australian government's being too harsh on immigration laws?
Narrow-minded, I guess.
The government?
Yeah, narrow-minded. I don't know what their purpose is. I really wouldn't. I don't understand it. Even if they gave me an answer to it, I would not understand it. You know, like, because it's not there. It's not right. Because I wouldn't accept it. Like, me personally, even if they gave me a reason for it, I wouldn't accept it, because it's not right.
It's an excuse, not a reason.
Yeah, exactly. It's just an excuse to just push them back. You know what I mean? And put them in detention centres.
A lot of people nowadays claim that these people who come here are trying to steal our jobs, and they use that as an argument. What do you have to say to that?
Nobody's stealing anybody's jobs. Like, there's a lot of jobs in Australia out there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, they're just trying to make a living. They want to live. You know what I mean? They're not stealing your job, man. Or they're not doing anything to harm you. They want to live. They want to raise a family. They want to get, like, they want to put food on the table for their kids. They're not stealing your job. That's not their main objective.
Mm.
Don't think of it that way.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Ask Australia to provide more jobs. Yes, okay, fine, whatever. But don't think that these people are stealing your job.
Mm.
Because they're not.
Exactly.
Like, stealing, the word stealing is way, like, it's, that's disgusting. I don't even know why people even say that, because we're not stealing your job. We want to live like you do. You know, as simple as that.
Plainly put. Now, a lot of people, and more ignorant people, argue that people who come by boats, the asylum seekers and the refugees, come here because they're criminals or terrorists. Now, what do you have to say to that?
How do you know that? How do you know they're criminals and terrorists?
And again, do you think that terrorists would come here and risk their lives to come here?
Who are terrorists? You know, or what is the definition of a terrorist? Like, everywhere, in every country there's a terrorist. Terror. You know what I mean? In every single country. It's not because they're coming from another country they're terrorists. I'm pretty sure we have terrorists here. There's terrorists in America. You know what I mean? Who are they to judge if this person is a terrorist or not? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, you can't, because they came from a different country, you think they're terrorists. I don't agree with terrorism at all, from whoever, you know what I mean? But sadly enough, it actually exists.
Now, because of the media's view, the way the media's portrayed Muslims or Middle Easterns as terrorists, now, have you ever experienced any sort of racial discrimination because of that?
Definitely.
Do you want to share an experience?
There's ones that I found really funny. Like a traffic incident that turned into a racial incident. Like, I accidentally cut someone off, and he eventually, on the lights, he was next to me, and he looked at me, and I looked at him and I said, whatever, look straight. I did the bad thing. He winded his window down, he goes, "You effing terrorist," and he drove off. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm like, ah. And then my brother had another one, go back to your own country, Osama. And then, yeah, we laughed at that though, because these people are narrow-minded. They don't know any better. You feel sorry for them. You know what I mean? You feel sorry for these people. You know, you don't worry about them. They're still kids.
Exactly.
You know, they don't know any better than that. So we just laughed at it.
Have you had any funny experiences anymore that you'd like to share?
Funny experiences? Not recently.
Not recently?
Not recently, but yeah, basically, that's what it is.
Okay. And how do you deal with racism when you get it from? Have you learnt to just ignore it, or to?
I laugh at it.
You laugh at it?
Because it's the best thing to do. You laugh at it because...
Take away its power.
That's it. You laugh at it because what are they saying to me that's harming me? They're calling me a terrorist? I'm not a terrorist. They're talking about someone else. Okay? They're talking about a Muslim. Yes, I am Muslim, and I'm proud to be a Muslim. But I'm not any different than anyone else. You know what I mean? I'm not different than anyone else. So if they got words to say about where I come from, it's not going to harm me. It's not going to stop me from...
Do you find in Australia there's a thriving Muslim community that anyone who's immigrated, especially newcomers, can be involved in the community straight away and feel welcome?
There are, but they're not supported. For some reason, because of all the terrorism and all of that, even Muslims don't admit that they're Muslims because they're scared. I know my friend, his name was Osama. He had to change his name because he was scared. He was scared to actually face the people and use that name.
That's terrible.
But
that's really terrible.
What can we do? But I'm not going to say that I'm not Muslim because I'm scared of what people say. I am Muslim, but I know the real Islam, and I know what's right and what's wrong. Islam means peace. And like I said, one of our prophets, Muhammad, he said, even if your next door neighbor that was a Muslim and he was sick and he needed help, go and help him. Your duty is to help him. And that's Islam to me. That's Islam. You know what I mean? I accept everyone. I accept every single religion. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, it's sad that some of us have been put to that degree, like to actually feel ashamed and scared to say that we're Muslim. It's sad, but what can we do?
How do you think we can break these stereotypes that people have of Muslims in Australia?
Give the right information to people. We need to give the right information to people. Show them what real Muslims are like. Show them that we're not all about wars and murder and all of those, because it's not. It's not. We just need to show the people, you know, I don't know, start something, you know, like start a big, somewhere in a park or something, invite everyone and show them what Muslims are like. You know, this is an idea. It could start, you know, like, it could open people's minds and show them that, yeah, look at them.
So it's all a matter of ignorance.
They're just people, they're just trying to live their lives like I am, you know? That's what we need to do, I reckon.
Oh, thanks for that. If you could go back to live in your homeland, would you? Or?
At this stage, no. I would love to go at this stage now, because